What's up, YouTube? Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming back. We got a complete mid-size showdown for you guys. We also brought Raptors, a Gen 1, a Gen 2. We're lucky enough to have a Subaru with us, a diesel ZR2, but we're really doing a serious comparison between the gas V6 ZR2, the Toyota Tacoma Trd Pro, and the new Ford Ranger in the FX4 package. So stay tuned because we're also going to tell you guys where you can buy these and get the best possible deal for your next vehicle purchase.
Is it cool if I open the door?
So starting with the 2019 Ford Ranger with the base price of $24,000 or about 260 bucks a month for a lease, but that's not what we got here. It's a Lariat FX4 with a 501(a) package. Something at this trim and spec level will probably set you back around $43,000 at MSRP or around 400 bucks a month with the lease. And with that, you get a nicely equipped package complete with skid plates and 18-inch wheels. But if you're going to take it for heavy off-road use, you're going to want to get the 17s. And if you're optioning out an FX4, it's going to set you back 900 bucks for the sport appearance package.
StereoXM.com/Dylan Francis Alice Wonderland for February 6th. There's no purchase necessary, so good luck. It's now or never. It's Mallory Lynn with Cartonal on BPM.
So all three of the vehicles have satellite radio, but the Ranger has voice control commands for its infotainment system, as well as power folding mirrors, push button start, keyless entry, remote start, that annoying stop start feature. That mixed with driver assist, lane departure systems, and the 360-degree view makes the Ranger the best equipped for city use of the three candidates. These trucks come in three different trim levels: XL, XLT, and the Lariat. Each one comes with a 2.3-liter turbocharged EcoBoost. You can also choose from 8 different colors. The FX4 package, however, will set you back an extra $1,300, but still retain the rating of 7,500 pounds for towing. Super impressive for a mid-size pickup.
I thought it was soft open, my bad. No, I opened it and it just slammed on me. I thought it was a soft open.
We're cheaped out on that one.
Yeah, dude.
Say that the driver comfort in terms of like the seats, like if you want to sit inside, they're very comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's pretty spacious.
Can I sit inside?
Yeah, it has a good audio system, by the way. I mean, my buddy said that's a high-end brand.
They feel just as comfortable as the ZR2.
Yeah.
Yeah, these things are awesome, man.
Should I turn off my rave music?
Oh, no, who cares? I couldn't use most of the audio anyways. Because the wind noise?
Oh, yeah.
Oh! Proper supplies, huh?
Don't take a dookie wherever you want.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta poop when you off-road.
Yeah, man.
Can I pop the hood? Oh shit, it's not that bad. Oh, is it working good? No? Fuck, what do you want to do? Sure.
Original plan was to use that Duramax diesel ZR2 and our gas ZR2 and tag team the Ranger and the Trd Pro, but he's got a lot of mods on it and it was throwing codes. So fail number 1 immediately followed by fail number 2 when I tried to launch a drone in the high wind. You might notice some of the aggressive styling on the hood of the Ford Ranger right here. That's supposedly for wind noise. Honestly, with the cameras mounted on top, they all were equally horrible. It's supposed to be more aerodynamic though, and less windshield noise, all that stuff, so whatever, we just gotta take Ford's word for it. All of these trucks, they hold their gears in manual, but the ZR2's traction control comes completely off. And while it's holding the gears, you could just rev it, you could get sideways. Nothing competes. Even the Raptors don't get as sideways as the ZR2, trust me. And then the FX4 was having a little too much fun, and third fail of the day.
I got the impact driver right now. Yeah, I got a compressor, but it's not gonna cut it. Yeah, an onboard one with lighter fluid probably will do it.
So I only had the little compressor, we didn't have an onboard air one, so we used the strap. The back of the bead was still on there, so we thought we might as well give it a chance. Just for safety, gotta warn you guys, never get this close to a tire when you're filling it back up after debeading. This guy owns wheel shots, like he knows what he's doing. It's a small compressor, he was gauging it, he was completely safe.
That's working.
With a big compressor, it can be dangerous.
That's insane, dude. That shouldn't work.
So thankfully we were lucky enough to get the original tire back on, and good thing too, because for some reason Ford didn't give the Ranger a full-size spare. We would have ended up with a donut. But whatever, it's time to make our way to the hill climb. Every one of these trucks has 4 high, they have 4 low, they all have their unique terrain management systems as far as hill climb assist, hill descent, all that stuff. They all have their cruise control versions of going up and down the hills. So switching order now to the Taco. In hill climbing, torque is what matters the most, and this little truck does fine. It's got 265 pound-feet of torque. Again, all 3 models come with skid plates from the factory. It's got a limited slip rear locking differential and crawl control, with 9.6 inches of ground clearance mixed with 36-degree approach angle, a 26-degree breakover, and a 24-degree departure angle makes the TRD Pro the class leader in clearance. All of that mixed with 2.5-inch Fox internal bypass shocks with coils in the front and leaves with 2.5-inch shocks in the rear make the Taco hard to beat. And now it's time for the Colorado to show what it's got with its 275 pound-feet of torque out of its V6. The diesel variant puts out 373 pounds of torque, however. The skid plates and sliders all work well, and we haven't gotten into any trouble with the easy-to-pick-on low-hanging shocks. I do recommend the little skid plates for them, but we haven't needed them yet. The zr2 boasts 8.9 inches of ground clearance, a 30-degree approach angle, and a 23.5 departure and breakover angle. The front cutouts in the bumper let you cheat on that math a little bit if you pick a good line. That mixed with its locking front and rear axle and abuse-soaking DSSV shocks make it impossible to beat when it comes to climbing. Finally, it's time for the FX4 to show what it can do. It's got best-in-class torque at 310 pounds for a gas variant, that is. It's got a locking rear axle and something close to 30.5-inch tires. Also, it's probably protected by its skid plates. In stock form though, it's got some catching up to do for crawling. It matches the zr2 for ground clearance at 8.9 inches and also has low-hanging shocks, but not as vulnerable as the Colorado. It also has a steel bumper, which should help it because its approach angle is only 28.7 degrees with a 25.4 degree departure angle. However, if you want to preserve the 21.5 degree breakover angle, I highly recommend ignoring both the Ford's options of $600 running boards. Full disclosure, we pre-ran this and I didn't think the Ranger could clear these rocks, but thanks to its lack of running boards, it didn't even break a sweat. It's also slightly outclassed in terms of shocks. On paper, the monotube dampeners aren't that impressive compared to the Fox or DSSVs, but they're specifically tuned for off-road use and they seem to do just fine. And watch the Ranger bump into that rock, just in case you think you don't need skid plates or a steel bumper. Trust me, they come in handy. You can't see all the terrain when you're up there. So now the descent was nothing special, so I'm not going to bore you guys with a whole lot of footage of it, but each one of them, like I said, they either have crawl control or some terrain management system. They all do the same thing, and honestly they're cool. We've seen them all work, we've seen them all fail, but eventually you become a good enough driver that you're too lazy to activate them. So I don't know, I just chalk it up to good marketing, and I wouldn't put too much emphasis on any of those features. So, like I said, the wind was just killing us, and yeah, Spencer came through with our 4th fail of the day. He recovered his drone, but yeah, we were hiking for about 30 minutes. It was terrible. We came to California City to test all 3 in every environment except mud and sand. But honestly, with this front locker, I don't see any truck beating the ZR2 in those environments. However, we do have some track times and some drag races, so stay tuned.
You're like, oh yeah, there's Tacomas in it too.
Next up is this 2017 Tacoma Trd Pro, also owned by Jack. The wheels and rock sliders that you're looking at are made by Relations Race Wheels, where you can get wheels and other performance parts for just about any vehicle. They reached out to Hector and actually made this video possible, so big thanks guys. I'm going to put a link in the description if you want to check them out and hook up your rides. A 2019 Tacoma Trd Pro is going to come standard with 16-inch wheels. You'll also have 6 different variations to choose from, anywhere from an SR, an SR5, a TRD Sport, TRD Off-Road, a Limited, or a TRD Pro. The Tacos can range anywhere from just under $26,000, but one option like this one can easily get to $44,000 at MSRP. That makes the Ranger the second most expensive vehicle here before considering dealer markups, that is. The Ranger may have markups as well, just depending on where you live. In Southern California, we pay a premium sometimes, but we're here to help you guys with that later on. And unlike the Ranger and the ZR2 that only comes in automatic with manual mode, a TRD Pro can be ordered in a true manual with the real stick shift.
Damn, it's nice and clean back here.
You can also get keyless entry and parking assist, making it a good daily truck as well, but it does have the smallest cab of the three.
Yeah, but it's still bigger than I thought. Pooping buddies.
I own both these cars and I'm a sick fuck.
He's got toilet paper in both cars.
Warranties matter when you plan on abusing your truck, and all three of these come with a 3-year, 36,000 mile warranty, which I gotta say is kind of weak because even sports cars nowadays have 6-year, 60,000 mile warranties and 100,000 mile warranties on others.
Probably this way. Nice and dirty.
Also, full disclosure, we recorded this walk around part after our day of off-roading.
Oh, it's like my grandpa.
Hey, kickstand.
Badass. Oh, it's just the engine's super peaky. Like when we hit the mushy part of the lake bed, was it?
It was slowing down.
It was slowing down?
Yeah, it was fogging down. I was like, oh hell,
Yeah, ours didn't have any problem either, but yeah, I didn't know. Ah, fuck. These things are badass.
I made it through.
No problems, huh? Not like the diesel ZR2. Oh man, you didn't even touch your skid plate yet. Oh, the windshield off for falling too close.
For the new TRD Pros, you can order the aforementioned skid plate and stamped red. They look sharp, but they're gonna set you back $500. Also, check out the hood scoop and graphics. Definitely a nice combo, but it's a fake scoop, and those pro graphics are also gonna set you back another $700.
I'm on the track right now. I get to go. Track? Yeah. A little racetrack. What? Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go.
So first things first, this little track is affectionately called David's Loop. It consists of this hard left turn, a winding S-turn coming up after this, and then another really hard left turn. This whole terrain used to be a lot more narrow, and this is where the midsize would have an advantage over the Raptors. We would go faster here just because we were smaller, we had better lines, and then we just try to keep our lead in the turn after this. Once you pass this spot, it's just wide open throttle, but like you saw, it's been graded, it's been flattened out, now everything's wide open. We're going to use this 2016 Subaru Forester just to set a baseline so we know what times we want to get. He's running 15-inch method wheels, and that's smart. Try to get as much sidewall as you can. Brian, the driver, also came prepared with his helmet and 29-inch Falcons. His Forester has a K&N filter stage 3 tuning chip, giving him an extra 40 horsepower and torque. I know this is supposed to be a mid-size review, but we also left this in because I want to start getting into rally content. So, any Subaru owners, any Mitsubishi owners, whatever you got, please email us if you want to get out on these tracks.
1, go.
So, first off, you might have noticed that we did a taco swap on you guys. Whatever, cracked windshield that you guys saw earlier, no big deal. They were just chasing too closely, trying to get action shots, and ended up with a rock to the glass. So they kept an even start, Rangers on the right, and the Challenger's a 2017 TRD Off-Road 4x4. It's a modest build with Bilstein 5100 shocks all around, and Icon progressive leafs in the rear, giving it an extra 2 inches in the front and 1.5 in the rear, so you can stuff 32s on 17-inch wheels. The FX4 has a Dana track locking rear that can be optioned on lesser trim models. The Turbo EcoBoost puts out 270 horsepower and it's got a 127-inch wheelbase at 71.1 inches tall and 85.8 inches wide. The Taco, however, runs a 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V6, putting out 278 horsepower, giving it a slight advantage, and also has a locking rear. It's a little taller, however, at 71.6 inches and more narrow at 75.2 inches. The height disadvantage is made even worse by the mods, but the wheel mods make him a little bit wider, so he makes up for it on that. So it's had a bit of a disadvantage for traction in the last corner, but it's about 55 pounds lighter than the Ranger, so it's a pretty even matchup, I think.
What?
So again, deviating from the mid-size category, but time to race this Raptor on the left. Right off the bat, I ruined the start and banked on him being a bad driver so I can get a lead before the last turn. But yeah, that never happened. This is a stock Gen 2 Raptor putting out 450 horsepower from a twin-turbo V6, also putting out 510 pound-feet of torque. Not at all a fair fight against the ZR2's 308 horsepower, but we've beaten Raptors on this track before, so might as well see what we can do. And then there I go and ruin the last corner, so that was my last chance to get ahead, so game over. But I'm going to keep pushing to show you guys how good the ZR2 stacks up against the rest of the mid-sizes. So just for reference, a Raptor starts at around $53,000 but can easily get optioned out to above $70,000. Add in dealer markups after that and you're looking well into luxury sports car territory. But don't worry, we got your back. We can help you find the best deals in your area if you're ready to buy. So you're going to see me lose in a second, but it's worth noting the time. Our results have shown that the ZR2 competes closer with Raptors than it does with other mid-sizes. It's truly a little giant.
There he comes.
Yeah, I almost lost the drone again. The one was just making it impossible to fly straight. But up next is the Chevy Colorado ZR2. A base Colorado can start at just under $23,000, and if you're looking for a Bison, it's gonna set you back around $53,000. This one here is a gas V6 Dusk Edition and at MSRPs for around $49,000, but with dealer and manufacturer incentives we got it closer to $42,000, making it the most expensive and at the same time the most affordable of the three. Also buyer's tips, so some of you guys with the keen eye are going to notice the wheels are off. The Dusk Edition comes with black wheels. I kept breaking them, they're not that strong. The base model wheels are a lot stronger, they seem to be lighter, and I get about 1 mpg better mileage than the black wheels. It's a body on frame build just like the other two trucks, but it comes standard with rock sliders and skid plates. 17-inch wheels mixed with adaptive DSSV shocks make it the best driver on road or off. But note the fake hood scoop just like the Trd Pro. So I recorded this later. This wasn't on location just because when we were there on the dirt, the back was full of recording equipment. It was a mess. So yeah, I had to clear out the whole truck to show you guys anything. But I'll show you guys here now. The seats in the Ranger were nice and comfortable. I really didn't feel any difference. But I do like these seats better because of the side bolstering. They keep you in your seat better. You're not sliding around as much. I didn't realize in the Raptor, a couple Raptor owners complained about it to me and I didn't know what they were talking about because I thought they were big and luscious and comfortable, but you do slide around a lot. You get exhausted by the time you're done off-roading and you're just not as tired at the end of the day. In the Raptor, I always needed help driving home because my back would cramp up. The infotainment system is comparable on all three trucks. This one's got Wi-Fi, mobile hotspot, all that stuff, satellite radio. I'm too cheap to use either. I've never activated either. Ours is 420 motors. And this is its terrain management system. That's traction control. You hold it once, it comes off, and then you hold it again for 7 seconds and stability track comes completely off. Not like the other models. You got your rear locker, your front locker. Your front locker only goes on in 4 low and you got to pop the truck in neutral to do it, just like all the other ones. It's kind of a pain, so you end up doing without most of the time. It's got all the trailer tow modes and that's its hill descent feature right there. It's kind of cruise control for when you're going down. Again, I'm too lazy to ever use it. It's got Apple CarPlay, it syncs up pretty good, just like the other ones. And it's got this remote charging station, whatever. I never use it because I'm too cheap to have the latest model of the iPhone. Samsungs work fine, but yeah, there's a theme here, I'm cheap. So let me show you the back now. The back is pretty spacious. That's my normal driving position, so there's room in the back. I'm 6 foot, so I'm not tiny. I'm probably average, whatever. It does get crowded in this cabin really quickly though, as soon as you start filling it up with stuff. I think it's the biggest. All the manufacturers have funny math. I can't tell whose is bigger cabin, but it'd be between this and the Ranger. It's got USB ports. The other one's just a cigarette lighter. I wish it was like the Ranger and Tacoma that had 110 outlets back here. They both come with inverters, so that'd come in really handy when we're recording just to recharge our drones. It's got all the standard compartments under the seat for storage, all that stuff. And just like the other models, the rear window is manual. And now the outside with some buying tips. The sports bar really helps with appearance. It comes standard in the dusk or midnight editions, but if you're just optioning out a ZR2 or a Colorado, it's going to set you back $1,200. The lights are also sold separately and very bright, but half of the light is wasted on the roof line. We turn one around and use it as a chase light and it works great, but $1,200 is a lot to pay for those. I almost forgot to show you guys the engine, so I'm going to pop the hood so you guys can check it out and see the differences. There's a lot of similarities, but first things first, we're pooping buddies too here. I don't know if you guys could tell, but the truck was pretty clean. It was after car wash day, but yeah, the engine just stays dirty like this. The Toyota's also got a V6. This one's got an 8-speed transmission, which is awesome. The Toyota's got a 6-speed, which you kind of explain the power differences that you see, but the Ranger has a 4-cylinder turbo. It's rocking the 10-speed transmission though. That it was co-developed with Chevy, all that stuff. I don't know why the Chevy didn't get one. It would have been awesome with one, but the 8-speed does just fine. So let me show you guys how the Ranger accelerates with its 10-speed on the dry lake bed. And we're off to the dry lake bed for some drag races. All the horsepower and torque numbers are out there, but they really don't mean anything. So we're gonna show you guys really what happens and what the fastest settings are for the trucks. So real quick, 0 to 60 times from top to bottom. A Gen 2 Raptor does it in 5.3 seconds. The ZR2 comes in next at 7. A Gen 1 Raptor has it at 7.1. A Ranger does it in 7.5. That Subaru Forester does it in 8.7. And the sad little Taco does it in 9.8. But the reality is here that every one of these vehicles has more engine than the suspensions can handle in stock form. Yeah, I hate that Raptor. This was just the first race. We kept going until we found the fastest setting for the Ranger. The elevation here is 2,500 feet, so the naturally aspirated engines run just fine, but it's not high enough to give the turboed Ranger an advantage yet. I thought I jumped the start originally, but in editing it proved to be just a perfect launch. Also, the ZR2 has a Wraith off-road exhaust, helping with its low-end power. So now you see the mixture of sport mode with traction control disengaged on the Ranger. It did a lot better job of keeping up, and it got close to catching me. Really it just depended whose limiter kicked in first would be who won this race. There's still more settings to explore though on that Ranger. So we tried a rolling start just because there's a lot of races in between that I'm not subjecting you guys to, and we kept trading places on who would jump the start and who wouldn't. No big deal, it's all friendly. We weren't really competing, we were just seeing what the trucks could do. And what I started to notice was that the ZR2 would always come out ahead, get to 60 faster, and then the Ranger would creep up on it. So I thought a rolling start I'd be doomed. But no, I wasn't, so it's time to change up some settings on the Ranger. So finally we found the fastest setting for the Ranger. 4 high, sport mode, traction control completely off, and manual. And the ZR2 can't touch it, man. The ZR2 setting in every race was the 4 auto, traction control off, manual, all that stuff. And the fastest setting for the Taco is traded in for a Ranger or a ZR2. Sorry guys. So that's it guys, thanks for watching. I know it was a long one. Please subscribe and like, but most importantly, please share if you know anybody that's in the market for any of these vehicles. This isn't just a comparison video. We're also licensed now to work with dealerships, so if you're in the market for one in California, hit us up, email me at jerkstoleourname@gmail.com, and we'll look for the best prices for you guys in your area. And by the way, if you're local or willing to drive and you buy through us, we'll gladly take you out to all our favorite runs, our favorite trails, everything. We'll teach you how to configure your truck, how to get the most out of it, and how to romp it safely without any damage. We can also help if you want to reach out to us through Instagram at 420 Motors. So huge shout out, big thanks to everyone that was involved. Spencer, thanks for helping, thanks for risking your drone and getting some of the drone shots for us. Brian in his Subaru, Gilly and his Raptor that kept smoking me. I hate you, man. Hector and your busted diesel, thanks for putting this together. You're awesome, man. Jack and the rest of the guys at Relations Race Wheels, thanks for making this possible. And of course, thank you guys for watching. And remember, no matter what you drive, no matter what you like, keep it dirty. It doesn't matter. Become a better driver, get better on the trails, and know your vehicle. You'll have an awesome time. I'm going to put links to everybody in case you guys want to follow them, check them out, ask them questions, whatever you want. They're all cool people. Also, check out Relations Race Wheels in case you want to upgrade your stuff. But I guess usually I stay away from saying which is my favorite because I want to promote all of them, but I guess I owe you guys my thoughts. I think as far as off-roading, nothing touches the ZR2 in the mid-size category. For speed, desert running, for crawling, all that stuff. The Taco is a better work vehicle than the ZR2 though, because it could tow a lot more. Even with its off-road package, it's tough, it's legendary, it won't let you down, it's a tool that always works, we always know it. And the Ranger honestly has all of these trucks beat as a daily driver, as a city driver, even for a work truck, just because its tow capacity, it can out-tow all of these. So no matter what you want, no matter what you like, Just have fun and keep it dirty. I intentionally left out EPA ratings, fuel economy, tank size, all that stuff because if you're looking for one of these trucks, who cares? No one cares about those numbers, but I gotta bring up Ford's scandal. No big deal so far. They basically hired an independent firm to investigate themselves because it looks like they did some funny math on their MPG numbers specifically for the Ranger, but who knows, it could spread across all models. But I've never had accurate MPG numbers on anything compared to what they advertise on sports cars, on trucks, on G-Wagons, even on electric Teslas. Everybody lies. I think we're all getting screwed here. So on the comments, please let us and everybody know if you're getting jacked on your MPG numbers too.